A very good evening to all our beloved friends present today. We heartily welcome each and every one of you to the third edition of CLC Conversations, where we talk about all things friends, college, and life. The NSHM Center for Language and Communication, headed by Dr. Saujanya Puri, has been a platform where all of us can hone our communication skills. It has always been encouraging us to work on ourselves so that we can become the best versions of us. On this platform, my dear friends, we invite accomplished millennials as our guests, youngsters with whom we can connect and hold a conversation. Today, we have Siddhanta Pramanik as my co host, and he's from BCA second year. But, guys, tomorrow you can very well be in my place or in his place. So, gear up, pay attention, and let's all just learn something new while having loads of fun.
Yeah, and so, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we are honored to welcome our guest for today, Mr. Chakraborty, Mr. Pritam Chakraborty, an alumnus of NSHM Knowledge Campus. Mr. Chakraborty is currently the regional lead for customer insights and brand building for Group Renault, the French automobile manufacturer. His role includes gathering customer insights from 18 countries spanning across the Asian, African, and Pacific region to enable brand building. He is also a motivational coach and has worked as a consultant with NMIMS Mumbai and ITM Business School. So, Mr. Chakraborty, how are you feeling today? Like it gives me immense pleasure to have you and to you have taken some time off of your busy schedule and join us today.
Right. So, sir,
Over to you, sir.
good evening, sir. So I think you are still
You are
on
muted, sir.
mute.
Please unmute yourself.
So, sir, please, if you could, yes,
Yes. Can you
right.
hear me now? Is it better?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Yes,
It's
sir.
fine. It's great.
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much, Aishi and Siddhanto and everyone. I see around 80 people. It's overwhelming to see all of you joining on a Saturday. So first of all, thank you so very much for taking time to join us on a weekend on your out of your busy schedule. And thank you so much for that very candid introduction. It sounds good, huh? It sounds good to be true. But thank you so much, and I'm equally honored and privileged to talk to each one of you, the young minds, as we say, because we still fall under the bracket of millennials, but we are still as old as millennials. But you are the future of tomorrow, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Special thank to all the to NSHM, who has a significant role to play in my life, whatever little I have been able to achieve in my life, professionally, functionally, personally, anything. It has a significant part to play. And needless to mention, the CLC, the mother of CLCs, Ms. Ajanya ma'am, thank you so much for having this great initiative. I guess this kind of endeavors help us to really have a one-on-one chat to understand each other better. And you say you're going to learn, but I'm going to learn from each one of you present today. So thank you so much. Over to you, Aishi and Siddhanta.
Thank you, sir. So, just a very casual thing about like how was your past few months have been like for you? Like you have many things have changed, and at the same time, the whole pandemic situation. Like, what did you do at this time?
Yes, so I guess the past few months has been for me like for everyone. But I have a lot to complain for this new year, but this year rather. But I have also a lot to celebrate. I'm a new dad. I'm blessed with a baby in this year. So I guess
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir, for
thank you so much. That makes me older, but still, that's a precious gift. And yes, so I guess COVID has been. We all have studied it so much that it is a time of introspection. It is a time of for us to be a bit more human ourselves, to spend time with our families, to confront all those issues which may have with our families, because you tend to stay more time with them. And but I guess it was indeed a very sensitive time for a lot of people, including me. A lot of people whom I know in my circle has unfortunately affected by COVID. But yes, the good part is all of them have recovered. Most of them rather has recovered. It's also a time for us. We were anyways working from home, like you all were studying online. Everything for you shifted to online. That's exactly happened with us in the corporate. Everything shifted online for us to work remotely.
Right.
And yes, that's overall the nutshell. It gave us a lot of learnings because in between this COVID situation, it made us not to take life for granted. It also helped us to understand that sitting in Kolkata, we are not really, we are connected as, each one of us connected globally as a citizen. And what happens in Wuhan or, anywhere part of the country affects us. So it makes us a great realization in that sense that how humans are connected and how serious can be health, and that's something which I learned, Siddhanto and Aishi, in that sense.
Absolutely, sir. Like you rightly pointed out, this is big, sir. We learned a lot. Like everything is connected, and some disturbance in some little area, and the whole world suffers. So very true, sir. Sir, because you are here today, I just cannot, pass on the opportunity to ask you this. So, because in this, rat race of modern materialistic life, most of us are almost always looking for shortcuts to reach the top, and that is often more detrimental than it is worth. But sir, I know a little bit about your journey, and it has been quite something for you. So sir, could you please talk to us a little bit about that, about your journey, the trials and tribulations that you faced so far, and most importantly, how did you overcome those to become the person that you are today?
Okay, great. Thank you. So let me tell you a bit about my story. So I think, or I fundamentally believe, my story is not different from each one of the 86 people who have joined this web series, or this session today. Each one of us have a similar story. My story is not great, but I'm going to share with you whatever little I have learned in my story. So my story started with with getting admission in NSHM, as all of you are as well a part of NSHM. So I did my schooling from Pune, from Bishop's Pune, and then I did my junior college from Wadia College, Pune. And then I moved to Kolkata, and I still remember that very day when I was really each one of us must have faced it, that confusion, that what I really want to do in my life and where is it going. Some of my batchmates are going for engineering, as the cliched doctoring, engineering. So, and at that time, I guess MBA, I'm talking about 2006. MBA was still something which was absolutely very in. It was fashionable. We knew as a layman that a person who does MBA will get a good salary, good placements, and will have a better exposure. So I still remember I was passing and going to Salt Lake, where I see this huge dangler and poster, as we call, of NSHM Knowledge Campus. And I thought that let me just. I still remember I was in a bus, I guess, and I saw it, and I took a snapshot in of the photo of the mobile number or the on the contact details, and that's how I guess my start journey started in NSHM. We came to the campus, and we are the very first batch of NSHM Kolkata, which on that year do give us at the same time lot of responsibility, because and also it makes one feel a bit uncertain, in the mind, that okay, we are the first batch, how is it going to be. But I guess from the very first day, we knew that this college is different. Not because I'm in this session and I truly believe what I'm saying. It's different from the other colleges at the present. It has its own strength. We saw that how NSHM had a lot more in terms of a holistic development. That's something which clicked onto me, because it doesn't really talk about only studies and you need to clear your exams, but how there was an equal emphasis which was given in terms of your entrepreneurial skills. We had different entrepreneurial ventures and startups like NEN groups, which was there. And that's something, I guess, was something which was very interesting, because it didn't really focused on a unilateral development, but it focused on a multilateral development with a holistic, a holistic improvement of a personality. that's how. So NSHM started. What I did largely studies. I was not really much into other activities, fortunately, unfortunately, which I miss the most. But just after I became the CR, I don't know whether you guys still have the thing of CR, class rep.
Yes, sir. High five. I'm the class rep too.
So I was the class representative for all the 3 years, okay, and also because nobody wanted to take it because it was a very tedious task. At that time, we used to take Xerox photocopies of different study materials and everything. But I guess in total, the amount of people who came into our batch was so incredible. We had people from different, obviously, background, different aspirations, different dreams. Just a classroom made it so vivid. You see, you can learn from each other just sitting in the classroom, what I'm trying to say. And then after I passed out from NSHM, after doing my BBA, my journey started quite interesting in my professional. I started working with McDonald's. So while I was in my second year of my BBA, I thought that okay, I generally had a love for Maharaja Mac meal, which I still crave for. But at that time, McDonald's was very new in Kolkata, in Money Square. I don't know it's still there or not, but I started working there. And after working around 13 14 years in the industry, if you still ask me what was the memorable learnings for me, it was starting from McDonald's. I always has this fear of conversations with people around. Was what petrified. If you ask me to be in a stage, I would show that here. So I'm not scared, but I know the battle which I'm having inside me. So I started my life with McDonald's. Yes, it gave me every day a free Maharaja meal to enjoy, but it has also helped me a lot about speaking, about sweeping the floor and then being on the counter. I know how to make each and every dishes of McDonald's. So from there, I moved into working with market research. So my profile is largely into consumer insighting and brand building, which means that I have to travel across different countries, meet different people across India, global. And that's how I started working with a company called Nielsen, which is a market research company. And that's how I worked. Post that, I was there in a different company called GFK, which is now Ipsos. So a part of my professional journey has been into market research and brand building. Then I moved to Mahindra, which is an automotive company, and I was heading the market research for the entire company there. And presently, I'm working with Group Renault as it's a French automotive manufacturer, and I'm taking care of leading the AMI Pacific region, which has around 16 to 18 countries which I deal with. Um, so this entire journey, Aishi, to some extent, obviously, and Siddhanto and everyone sounds one after the other, but it wasn't as hunky-dory as it sounds. So everywhere, in order to move from one profile to another profile, to get that, to hone your skills better, there are certain facts where you also will feel, my God, what am I doing? How will I get it? And how would I deal with all those situations? How would I match my aspirations, my dreams, with what the reality is, yeah, with what I have to offer. But there's two things which really drove me. Is an example of a flower vase. You see, I was told by my dad that flower vase is like, the beauty of a flower vase is that it's empty. If the flower vase is not empty, then you cannot put anything inside. So it fundamentally struck a chord with me that I have to always learn. I have to always be as empty inside to absorb more. And I guess that was one driving principles which really helped me to move ahead. And the second thing which also helped me to challenge all those setbacks also which I must have faced, is really believing in myself. As millennials, as each one of you, we all have our dreams. We all want that paycheck. We all want to sit in that cabin of with an air condition. But what is fundamentally important for each one of us is how do I converge my story with the story of the organization? I guess that is something very, very crucial. And the moment we do that, I guess it would be really interesting. So sorry for the long monologue of introduction, but just wanted to give you a deep understanding of where I come from and what do I do. So over to you.
So that was brilliant. I think that was that helped us a lot, to get the full picture of like the students watching, I'm pretty sure they are really excited now, because now they know what they can expect from you, so they can, ask quite a few questions. Guys, you can ask questions. The chat box is open, so shoot. So, Siddhanto, over to you.
Yes, sir, that was really an impactful speech. I really, although I missed a lot of it because of network issues, and I had to literally go run with my phone to the terrace and just keep the phone out there and come back.
Just
That's,
everyday things, when you work and study and meet
yes, sir. It's like
on your
every day thing
phone,
right
right?
now. The network
During
is
a
really so
pandemic.
bad.
That's fine.
Exactly. So, sir, what I was thinking is like, what do you think is the impact of NSHM in your path of success? Like, how did NSHM actually help you build your career through that?
What I fundamentally believe, and I guess most of my batchmates would kind of agree to that, and also each one of you would agree to certain kind of it, is the fact that how NSHM really helps you to become a future. It helps you to groom in all perspective. You so one is obviously to secure good marks. At the end of the day, that seriousness which come from one own's life. How much do I want to what level do I want to leverage my academic? But with academic, there is also the other part, which is about communication, which is about personality development, which is about interview skills, which is about all those softer skills. You see, a layer of empathy which you need while talking to people. You need to be a good listener. So I guess it groomed me fundamentally. To understand people. As a part of BB at that time, we also had psychology as a part of a subject, which later then I mastered. I did my master's in psychology as well. So I guess it's fundamentally helps us to really believe ourselves. Also, what NSHM really something which has enabled me to do is to never settle for less. Never compromise in your life. I guess we are bound to get whatever we want to do in our life, provided we take that action. And in order to take that befitting action towards getting it, you always need that kind of skills and that kind of that kind of levers, if I may say, to get that. And that's where NSHM or any of the college to that matter where we are associated comes into the play. It helps us to become the finest individual in future. It helps you to get the utmost important confidence which you would need to face the panelist in interview. It helps you to have that the softer emotional quotient, as we say, the layer to sustain in an organization. I guess now said and done, it's quite easy to get a job. Obviously, we are not looking to get a job or to get that paycheck. That can be the first tick in the to-do list, or in the game plan. But what is very very important is to fundamentally able to sustain that job in order to get that first ladder and then go and achieve your dream. And that's where I guess NSHM helps us, because it helps us to think big. It helps you to have greater vision. It helps you to believe that you should not settle for something compromising and less. So challenge yourself. Okay. Also, it helps you to accept your insecurities. Guys, let me tell you today, there was a time when I was petrified. I was flabbergasted. I used to be always so scared, always into my cocoon, to talk to people, to speak in English. Language was not something which was inherent to me. I was also coming from a background which is more introvertish. I was never this extrovert guy in myself. But that is the fundamental breaking what NSHM or that grooming does to you. I guess in your course, it breaks that shell. It helps you to challenge. It helps you to perform out of your comfort zones. And I guess these are some of the things which really has a long lasting impact. Now, it also depends on the decision you do. You are given everything as a skills in a plate of a paper. Now, what is important is which one do you want to really hone for you with yourself? Which one do you want to drop it by? And which one want you sharpen it? So, Siddhanta, if that answers that question, so this is the significant amount of impact with NSHM had. And nevertheless, obviously, we are still associated. We are still a part. We say very, very proudly that we are the first batch of NSHM. We'll never go old, and we have this great great network of friends who are each one of them are well established in their own walks of life. Each one of them, whoever I am in contact with, they all are doing good. Some is a inspiring YouTuber, another is a director, another is an RJ, another is a brand builder, another is a motivation speaker. So each one of them are doing fabulous. So yes, that's what grooming of a good college does to you.
Absolutely, sir. And like they say, morning shows the day. So I just hope that that's the same for us. And I'm pretty sure it will be because we get the best. Honestly, at NSHM, they cover everything. We get the best. So, sir, while, because you're on this topic, sir, I personally feel like our generation is kind of a very impatient generation, for lack of a better description. So, sir, could you please give us a few pointers regarding, how to be more responsible or how to be more goal oriented or achieve our dreams in the future? What are the things that we can do to inculcate some of the values that makes us or that may make us better in the future and help us on that path?
That's a wonderful question again, Aishi. So
Thank you, sir.
in my years of little experience which I have, I was a part of a study which was done for one of the corporates, that to understand the Indian millennials. Yeah. And the youngsters, to the matter of fact. So there is a cliched line which is always said, which is like, youth are in a crossroad. And I fundamentally disagree with it. I believe that we are not in crossroads. Just because we take time to tell you what I like and what I don't like, we have numerous options to choose from, and we make mistakes, does not really qualify for us to say that we are in a crossroad. I think we are not in a crossroad. We for sure know what we want to do. Maybe we do not know what we want to do, but we are not as confused that it would labeled to be. I guess fundamentally today, when I also see my generation, which is a bit now older from your generation, I think that today we have a plethora of options. Today, being a DJ is a cool thing. Being a tattoo artist is something which you can post in Instagram. Today, being a tipsy bartender makes you feel wow. You don't really have the mundane, doctor, engineer, and then there was a world of chartered accountant, and then so I guess today youth has a lot of options to really explore, and that is not bad. That's fundamentally good. You are not typecasting your energy into one thing, and I believe that's something which is absolutely important. Let's not have a plan. It's good for some, but all those people who doesn't have a plan, kudos to you. You are an explorer. Yeah, make mistakes and learn from it. What really matters is whether you're standing on the 11th time after you fell down 10th time. It may sound too philosophical, but that's actually the real life, of youth, and the youth values today, that we have options. So let us try it out. Let us try whatever we want to do. But I think one of the most important thing, Aishi, which you also pointed out, to be responsible. I guess we all are. The definition of responsibility is a bit subjective, but I believe each one of us are responsible. But I think what will be really important and what is really interesting, when I did this study to understand the millennials of today, we understood that yesteryears the millennials were aggressive. Today, the millennials are assertive. There's a fundamental thin line of balance which is happening. So today, each one of us are not really in a crossroad, but we are juggling between the thin line of balance, and that sometimes can be falling either side, isn't it? So sometimes we may be on the right hand side or a left hand side. That depends. But what is interesting and important is to understand that each one of us 88 today represent humongous potential. And guys, I am as an outsider need to tell you this. We all know that we know what we want to do in life. Each one of us are struggling to make a mark in a society, in the world of corporate, or in your domain, whatever you choose from. Now, the fundamental attitude which will help us to succeed is the word believe. Let's believe this. Let's fundamentally believe that we can do this. So even if the world, when you go for interviews or corporates, loud jarring, it seems to be so scary. Everybody is so knowledgeable than you that you need to go and Google it out, that what did they say just right now. But at the end of the day, accept in your insecurities and believe yourself. I believe The moment we do that, because let me tell you from an example, when I went on to venture to my very first job in Mumbai, working with the world number one market research company, there used to be my colleagues who used to come and tell me, Pritam, I want you to do this. And I used to never understand the jargons and the English word. I used to Google it out. And Google is also very smart. When you need him to answer, he answers everything which is not relevant. So I used to work on that basis something which Google Baba has said. But all said and done, that's on the joker side. But what's really important is to really believe, fundamentally accept your fears, accept your concerns, accept yourself. The moment one accepts oneself is when people start accepting you. So that's, I guess, Aishi, what would I be summing up, and Siddhanto, in terms of where we are today. We are not in a crossroad. That's a myth. We are balancing. We have options. We will take time to balance. And there is never, nowhere it's written that we cannot make mistakes. So it's okay to fall down. It's okay to struggle till the time you have the zest to take yourself up. And that's important.
Absolutely. So I think that made a lot of sense when I think about it. And so, because you also pointed out that, it's true that we have a lot more options now than we had, a few years back. But I think, so that is a good thing and a bad thing. It's kind of a double edged sword because, sir, I believe that when you have a lot of options, you don't know where to go or what to choose.
Yeah.
So, sir, could you please talk to us about like how do we identify what our true calling is or what we should really do, which field we should choose, or really what is our aim, really? How do we identify that?
Okay. Can you still hear me, Aishi, if you can confirm?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, because my laptop just shows a bit of lag. But yes, that's a quite profound question. Um, I think that each one of us a guy. Yeah, that's a famous book which most of us must have read. Yeah, so I think it's fundamentally boils down to the purpose of your life. What do we want to achieve in our life? Yeah, and now it may also sound a bit more theory, a bit more blah blah. But what is interesting is to really understand that if at all we do something which is converging, if at all my life is whatever I do in terms of my career is converging to the calling of my life, which is my mission of the life, that is something where I will get the biggest contentment in future. More often than not, we jump into a career option which may sounds fashionable, which may sounds lucrative because of the fact that it gives you good materialistic benefit, or it gives you good social standing and recognition and everything. But I guess at the end of the day, till the time it doesn't reflect you, it doesn't reflect your story, it will venture into a territory of boredom and mundaneness. And I guess that is something which is very very important. So, and how do we really spot that what do I want to do in my life? I guess that can fundamentally come with a lot of processes. So in our psychology we say we can do a projective of Johari window, or we can do something on, we can study that what is my passion and what are my values, and how can I see that how close or distant in my passion my values to be. So there are different ways, and there is no one way which will work for everyone. There are few people for whom elimination matters most, that I don't know where I want to go, what I want to do, but I know what I don't want to do. Let's venture into that part, that what you don't want to do, and then you come kindly filter your list of what you want to do. Yeah, and I guess that's something which is interesting. What is also very very prudent and interesting to keep in mind, that it's important to not be so overwhelmed, that also because today each one of us are faced with a lot of judgments in the
Very
society,
true.
from our
Very true.
peers, from our family, from each one of us. So I guess let's not take it that seriously. Till the time you know where you want to reach, till the time you know where you want to go. I think the path doesn't really matter. It's the destination. And as we say in one of the Buddhist concepts, it's a phantom city, which means that let's enjoy the journey than the destination. That's also something which is very very important. We all are focused that what I want to do, I want to be a CEO, I want to be the biggest fashion star, I want to be the influencer in YouTube or Instagram. But that's the end destination. But let's also start enjoying the journey. And the moment we start enjoying the journey, I guess that will be a bit more organic, and we will be able to be more not that critical to our own self, and we'll be able to understand our own ikigai. You never understand your ikigai just after one reading of a book. You understand that after a lot of experience, after failing, when your knee starts hurting, when you're tired of jumping, when you're tired of finding out ways, and maybe then at that point you will be able to say that yes, maybe I'm meant for that little thing which I wanted to do. That's making sense, Siddhanto and Aishi?
Absolutely, sir. I'd request everyone present today, especially the juniors, if you get an opportunity, sir just spoke about Ikigai, read that book. That is a very beautiful book. It'll change your life. Read it. So I think that was extremely inspirational, sir. Thank you so much for that. Siddhanta, you wanted to say something?
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, right, right. I was really into the story. Okay, the story that he was sharing. Sir was sharing the story. The story, like everything. It kind of summons the whole thing of idea about NSH and possibilities unlimited. So is like I will like ask you something regarding about college life. Like, what are your fondest of memories from college? Like, what are the memories that you still cherish and you want to share? Like, not only with us, but the friends and family. Usually, you talk about.
Sorry, your voice was a bit breaking, but do I understand you correctly that what are the memories which I still cherish of NSHM? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes, yes, there are a
Yes.
lot. There are a lot, and I guess we passed out in the year 2009. It's almost more than 10 years. But and your NSHM college, our NSHM college has evolved a lot in terms of infrastructure, in terms of modern amenities, in terms of everything which makes world-class leaders for tomorrow. But for us, that time, that was the state of art for us. Huh? Even even in that time in Kolkata, to get us audio, video, studio room for communication was fancy. To have our own library with all our little jewels of books was fascinating. To have, I still remember just after the library, I don't know it's still there or not, just if you walk straight the library, you also have a room which was a reading room where you can go and you can study. It was a beanbags they were kept. And so yes, I guess most of my time with my BBA fellows used to be boringly in the library because most of us used to study a lot. But yes, apart from the library and the lecturer room, the staff room where I used to be lot present because I used to be the CR, and with me there was one more lady, and we used to be working. But apart from that, we had an amazing canteen. Huh? The canteen may not be as amazing as it is today in terms of infrastructure, but it served you the best chicken kosha and parotha, and it also served you the best, I guess, fried rice. It was nowhere close to the Chinese fried rice, but what we got was so yum. I guess we all used to hog so much. And I remember there were a lot of people from media science, from hospital management, and supply chain management. Each one of us had this good group. So that's one memory with a very happy banter which I really recollect. I also recollect that there used to be a lot of sessions on thinking hats, which is Peter DeBono, Six Thinking Hats, etc., which talks about innovation and creative thinking. So that used to be a favorite part of my life. I used to really look up to those kind of things. And also, I remember participating in a lot of debates. There used to be a lot of those kind of interstream activities which used to be there. So and obviously giving the exams. I used to love giving the exams because I studied so much at that point of time that I thought that let me give the exams. And so exams with friends in the canteen, sitting in the staircase because the canteen still had that Nilkamal chair, not really fancy as it is now today maybe, and the library, the reading room. That used to be my game, and that's the kind of memories which I cherish. I also cherish guest lecturers. Sorry, forgot. We used to also have opportunity for real corporates to come to a college to give their life story, to take lessons on marketing and stuff on different subjects and domain expertise. That used to be quite good. We were also for I think we used to also have lectures for CAT preparation, which is MBA preparation. That's incredible. At that moment of time, coming from a very middle class family, I never thought that I will be able to afford the cost of career launcher, or yeah, I guess it was that time, etc. But that was very interesting. NSHM really helped us to study that better. And most of us are who has done the MBAs have done basis that thing. So these are some of the great nostalgia which I have other from all the cultural fests which we were part.
So that was really, really something. Sir, you already stole one of my questions. I was really going to ask about the canteen and how was it in your time. And now really we have something that we all love the canteen, whatever the
Ah,
canteen.
you need to invite me now to have with you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Most welcome, sir. I was going to ask, sir, during your time, like in 2009, that time, was there any fest that was in your college? Like, what was the fest all about? Like, was it still there?
Yes, there was fests which was organized. I remember we organized the very first fest. I guess it was Blitz, if I'm not wrong. If my old memory and the gray matter talks right, it was Blitz, which was an wonderful event where I think we had different shows of fashion show and singing. We are proud of because so many batchmates of us today. Some of them are real singers, real singers who are singing in Tollywood and Mumbai industry, film industry. Some of them have really made mud, and I remember few of them would not take names, but each one of them had made so big in their life. We used to have fests and all those cultural. I also remember that once we had this exchange of Durgapur and Kolkata, where all the Kolkata students went to Durgapur, and there was this music singer Shan, if I'm not wrong, who came all the way. And yes, so we had a lot of cultural that kind of student exchange and fests, if that is your question.
Sir, what was your kind of participation in the fest? Like, you were one of the organizers, part of the organizing team, or events, or something of that sort?
Sir, I'll just
So
interrupt
I
once
guess
before you begin. Sir, you remembered the name of your fest, and it has been what, like 10 years? And I think that just boggled my mind. I mean, I could never. So that's amazing, sir. Honestly, that is amazing.
was it right? If at all it is right, I'm sure
I don't
99%
know
it's
that,
Blitz.
sir, but I
It's Blitz.
think yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. So what was your question? If you may repeat.
Yes. So what I was saying was like about the festival. So you were one of the like, what kind of participation did you do? Like, did you participate in the fest? Did you participate in events, or you were in the more in the organizing committee or something of that sort?
No, so I guess I always liked, even if I was so scared of it, but I always loved public speaking. I guess even if it was not something which came to me by default, but I wanted it desperately, and so I was the anchor. I was the anchor of that fashion show. I remember that I was with someone else, so we were hosting the event. I remember that this was the very first year which we did, and also there was once where I croak like a crow, but still I also sung few songs in one of the events, I guess, with a group song. So yes, my kind of thing was more about anchoring, or more about singing, or more about directing advertisements, which I did for some of the assignments. So that's the kind of participation which I did in those cultural in terms of that. Yes.
Exactly on
Wow,
that
sir.
note, sir, I would like to say something that really on NSHM really pushes us along for this public speaking and everything. Like when I joined, like last year when I joined, I was like doing public speaking. So I got to know about my public speaking, and they like you host the event for the login us for the first day of the official. I was really trembling. I remember that. And today also like some ma'am, Shojini ma'am gave me the opportunity to also be a part of this. So I feel that NSHM is already pushing everyone for public speaking and for life all that thing.
That's
Siddhanto,
right. I guess
yes, sir.
that's right. Yes.
Absolutely. So,
Yes, please
it
go ahead, Aishi.
always, just this that college like NSHM always pushes us when it comes to extracurricular activities, not just academics. That is always there. But even I started my journey, of this, being confident overall and talking to the masses without trembling. I used to do that too. Believe me or not, Siddhanto, I know you won't believe it, but I was very scared, and everything started since login. Remember, I think 2018, and since then it has been a roller coaster ride. And not just that, sir, I don't know if you know this, but we also have foreign language classes now. So there's that. it's organized by the Center for Language and Communication. So there are a lot of things, and like the college says, possibilities unlimited. Honestly, 100% true. So, sir, that's that. So you were saying something, I
No, no, I was just agreeing to what Siddhanto said. Yes.
right, sir. So, sir, coming back to the, previous topics, because Siddhanto is not here, I think he's joining. But, sir, I was wondering since some time now. So, what do you think are some of the biggest barriers or hurdles that young people face while starting out in the corporate world? Since you have, immense experience in that field. So, what are some of the hurdles that we face, and how can we overcome it?
That's a good question. Also, equally tough questions. I'm still figuring it out. Huh? I'm still figuring it out. That what is the recipe for in order to be future ready for corporate, etc. What are the hurdles? However, I'll tell you an anecdote or a glimpse or a deep dive of what I have understood. Uh, I think that we all have a mirage or a set of thing in our life that we have a picture. We have a picture that what would an ideal job be, what would be an ideal company be, and how would I be treated. Now, more often than not, that's okay. If you get it, you're absolutely lucky. But at the end, we always say that reality is a bit more different. Yeah, that not to say negatively, that's not to give a pessimism view to this, but when we say that we need to be also dreaming something which one needs to be what is achievable at this moment. Yeah. So I think that the very first thing which the hurdle which we face is this expectation mapping. Yeah. This mapping of what I wanted versus what I got. Then the question says that am I happy with what I got or I'm not happy, and then you make this jugaad, as we say, or you kind of do a compromise and stuff. But I guess that's the first step. It start with the basic lining of the expectation and the reality. So once that goes out, that once that's happened, and that takes time. That's not just on the very first day of your corporate life you'll be like, yes, it's aligned. It is not. Tell me, trust me, there's a lot of things which will not, you will not be happy than things which you'll be happy, even if it is the most wonderful company of your lifetime. But I think what one needs to be absolutely believing is the first 5 years of one's life in corporate needs to be as fluidic as like water. I think that there are some magical words which is so much important for each one of us who has a dream to become in the corporate life, making big. Not that I have made it big, but still, whatever the experience which I have from the very first is agility. Agility and deconstructing your construct. I guess the very first thing which we need to do is we need to break our assumptions. We need to break our judgments. And you remember this the example of the flower vase. If at all the very first day the flower vase is filled, then there will be very less amount of space to put those flowers. So we need to unlearn a lot of things to learn, right? And I guess there's the backing of your all the education and academics will come for you to be that high on your EQ, which is emotional quotient. I guess that's first thing. That's the first mantra, to be agile, to be like water. The second mantra, the barrier which you feel, is a learning over a learning, meaning you already have a kind of mindset, and then when you go towards the corporate life, it'll ask you to sometime differ, sometime layer it out, sometime build on it. More often than not, because our not so famous word ego, we sometimes feel that, oh, why should I do this? But I guess that's the fundamental also second point, which is like we need to be as sponge in the first few years of corporate life. We need to absorb as much as possible. We need to be in complete absorption form. Then after that, I guess once we are like fluid, we show this mentality of agility. Then we are also showing this attitude to ourselves of being an absorbing sponge, to learn as much as possible. There is no small learning, big learning. It's not that you can only learn from leaders. You can learn from anywhere, everywhere. There is no stopping of learning. And then I guess the third is when you have your foundation set, then you need to really diversify. It's also very important to not really be into your comfort zone. So let me tell you that it's easier for me to work in Indian colleagues, but I also have South Korean, I have Moroccan, I have South Africa, I have Sub-Saharan Africa, Middle East, Australia, so Japan. So each one of them, when I talk to them for projects and for studies, each one of them come with their kind of culture. And it initially, it used to be also, make me overwhelmed that, okay, it's easier for me to say, Siddhanto, this is wrong what you did, this is not right. But it is difficult to say the same narrative in different sense. So one needs to really open your ears and eyes to a global perspective. I guess it is crucial for each one of us to see the big picture. All often than not, we are always in the third floor or the fourth floor, and we see our problems, our situations so big, and we miss the big picture. Today in 2021, post COVID, each one of us will be entering into a new working style. Each one of us will be entering into a new world, a new priorities. Everything which was so far is gone. We're going to establish new fundamentals of working. And for that, it is extremely crucial that each one of us become that new version of ourselves to the corporate life. So these are few of the values. Let's learn as much as possible. Let's be fluidic. Let's not be concrete. Let's be agile. Let's not be fixated, synchronized, or typecasted to one set of mentalities. Let us have mentalities within us. These are some of the things which I believe would be crucial, of paramount importance for ones to be really have a mark in corporate. If that makes sense.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Absolutely, like these are some tricks and tips that
Hello,
we cherish for life. So, just I wanted to add a like this question to you. So, what do you think? How can we, like,
hello. Can you hear me?
yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible, but your screen is frozen, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
you
sir,
Can
are
you
you're
see
audible,
my
audible.
sir.
screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Yes.
Yes, sir. So, what I was saying is, like, can you help us a bit more about how to cultivate this mindset of like being a part of this corporate world of that sort?
Hello.
Sir, am I audible?
Sir, can you hear us right now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Siddhanto, I think there's some audio issues with you. Please fix it. I can continue, no problem. Just get it fixed,
Okay.
yeah? Okay, so
Okay.
I think what Siddhanto was asking was, could you please expand a little bit more on, what to see, sir, like you pointed out, we are going into this field, like the corporate world, and this is a new world right now because it's after COVID, so things are different, right? So, sir, what are the new things that our employers can expect from us, and the new values that we can, develop ourselves so that things go more smoothly? Because there are oftentimes, like you rightly pointed out at the very beginning of this session, that there's a lot of judgment everywhere. Sometimes I've even seen it personally, that when you have a degree that you've obtained online, there's a lot of problem with that, and we had discussed this in the last session as well. So, what is your take on that?
Okay. So if you mind, can I just log out and log in, because you remember my laptop is completely hanged a
Right.
bit. So just give me few
Absolutely,
seconds.
sir.
I just log out and log in. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Thank
no,
you so
not a
much.
problem, sir, please. Yes.
Yes, sir. On that, like, am I audible right now perfectly? Yes. Aishi, hi. Am I audible properly?
Shidanto, you are audible, but your voice is kind of breaking sometimes, so I think that is not coming through.
Okay.
Guys, I can see Sir has joined. Sir is joining. He's connecting. I think his audio is connected. And there are a lot of people right now, right? Guys, start shooting your questions. What are you waiting for? You won't get an opportunity like this again. Any questions you have, start typing in, and Sir is right here. Um, yes. Okay. So, Siddhanto was asking basically, and I'm kind of adding to that.
No, let her not make. I'm getting you pizza.
I think there's some audio interference. Okay, that's fixed now.
Okay.
Okay. So, sir, basically what we were asking you is, sir, you said, you rightly pointed out that after COVID, the situation right now, sir, is different versus what it was before, right? So, sir, after COVID, what are the new things that our employees can expect from us, in the corporate world? Or, conversely, what are the new things that we can develop within ourselves so that we stand out? Because most of these people, we are going to pass out with online mark sheets and online degrees, which is till today it is looked down upon, kind of. So there's a little bit of judgment about that. So what is your take on this?
So fundamentally, I believe, thank you. This is a very pertinent question and a very relevant question for today's time. Yes, so all of us know that obviously we have stereotypes associated and views associated with online certificates, etc. But I also think that today the world is becoming more tolerant. When Harvard and Oxford and Stanfords are also giving online classes, when IIMs and IITs are shifting online, when most of the assignments are happening online. So I guess the tolerance towards online will increase. Also, let's understand that even if Corona and obviously, let's really hope for the best that in 2021 Corona will go away, things will be much more better. But I guess this Corona has also taught us fundamentally that the beauty of technology. Yeah, it helped us to understand that how can we how did you ever think that you can do your assignments and exams online? We never thought
Very
that.
true.
I
Very
I
true.
I I I personally never thought that I can give a presentation to the CEO online. I never thought that. Yeah, so I think what is absolutely important that we started respecting the technology a bit more, and we
Absolutely.
understood that it is a form of an enabler to each one of us. Now the question is to what extent can we use it and legitimately use it. I think that the world is going online, so the fundamental aspect which this COVID or lockdown has taught us that we need to be we can do things online. So now there are government laws which are passing for the IT companies, where the government of India is saying that if at all you move your business online, you'll get subsidy from government. If you let your employees work from home, work from remote, it will really add on. It will show you that you are the most advanced or futuristic company. I guess that's going to be the norm in future. That's not going to be an hurdle in future. Each one of us, I guess, will be into this so technological world in future where we will be asked to do things online. That's point one. Second, I guess nothing will diminish or reduce the legitimacy of your academics and your substance till the time it's here. The piece of paper, I frankly believed, is just with a seal. So whether it's come in a digital or it comes in a printout, but till the time each one of us are able to learn all those things, yeah, all those substances which we need in order to face this corporate one in future, I think then online and digital or personal and physical is just a matter of mediums. Having said that, to the second part of your question, Aishi, that what do we need? I guess that's something which I was also pointing out when I was speaking. I don't know whether you heard about the when I was saying to Siddhanto that agility is going to be a magical world. It is
Correct.
going to be crucial, and the meaning of agility is not really being flexible. It is not really doing things in a more more what do you call jugaru way, or doing it in the more crude, in the more colloquial way, if I may say. But agility will mean that to what extent can you think out of the box. I think what will be also very, very important is we expect future leaders to be solution mongers, not problem seekers. So we know the problems, huh? So each one of us, we know the problems, we know there are a lot, but what really will make one different from other or rest is that how can you find a solution to the problem. So come with solutions. It can be as nonsensical, as idiotical, as stupid, anything, but till the time you're thinking, I guess that will be a fundamental aspect which will differentiate you from the rest. And the third is important thing is, let's not be fixated. I guess this land or this time is a time of opportunities. I want to do atypical kind of profile, atypical kind of job. I only want to do generalist human resource. I only want to be in the back office, or I really want to travel. This all are where the ghosts of past. Let me tell you. Now, there in future there will be a lot of hybridization. You will be asked to optimize on a lot of scopes. You will be asked to camouflage and join together a lot of dots. I guess these are some of the things which is very, very crucial for corporate life in future.
Right, sir. Absolutely. I'm learning quite a few things right now, sir. I'm being very honest, and this gives a boost of confidence. I won't lie. So, sir, could you please talk to us, about some of the hurdles, that you have faced in reaching, you are at the top right now. So, what are one of the sir? It's the truth, sir. So, what are the hurdles that you have faced? So, we would love to know, and how was it
You
basically?
you
Sir, it's the
say
truth,
that
sir. I'm just saying it. I'm just
no,
calling a spade a spade. How did you
no,
reach the top?
no, but the condition is you always have to be modest about it. Yeah, it on papers it sounds the truth, but there is a truth of the truth, as we say in epistemological way. That what is the truth behind the truth? So there is lot to go. I have reached something in life, but that's not it. I know what I want to become. I know what I want to do, but hurdles. I guess. A lot, a lot. There were nights which was weeping. There were nights with cries. There were nights where I felt I need to resign from this job. There was nights where I felt that not this job, but my past jobs. And there were nights, obviously, where you always ask this question that what am I doing? Yeah. Uh, there's an hurdle of acceptance. That's the first hurdle. Whether you will be accepted in the sphere. If you are too smart, you will be considered as a potential threat. If you are not smart, you will be considered not seriously. One needs to be absolutely in a balanced way. That how do you communicate? How do you come across? I guess the challenge of acceptance is huge. We come from different ethnicity. We come from different background. Let's not beat around the bush. It's a matter of fact, and it's a matter of acceptance that we all come with some challenges and some difficulties wherever we go. So I guess the barriers will be difficult, different for each one of us, but that's the first barrier. The second barrier is also that how fast do you want to run? How soon do you want to become something? So some of us are very impatient. If I don't get that appraisal in the month of July, then I'm almost sulking. By December, I want to quit. By January, I'm searching for a job. And some of them are much more patient. Let's go on. I think that it's again a balance between being impatient and patient. So to what extent do you want to run? I always give one mantra, being 32, I'm not that old, but don't run so much that your knee starts aching. It's good to jog. It's good to take a time stop. It's good to sit and not run sometimes. It's good to not talk sometimes. So you don't always have to be opinionated. It's good to not have an opinion sometimes. These are few of the barriers. These are the barriers. The barriers is of acceptance. The barrier is of how much is your aspiration versus what you want to achieve. Also the barriers, I believe, fundamentally for me was also the fact that I'm a quite aspirational guy in that sense. I really want to do something, make large in the society. In my own little way, I know people who are doing much more better than me. So that sometimes when I feel that okay, I need to sometimes compromise, but you should never compromise, and one should never compromise and settle for the less. But it's good to be patient sometimes. Yeah, it's good to be like water, as I told you. That's the philosophy of my life. When you have a big rock in front of you, you have two options. First option is make a way behind the rock and go. The second option is break the rock. I choose the latter. But breaking the rock takes time. Breaking the rocks needs substance, need competence. Let's hone the competence. Let's break it. Let's not have a shortcut and find a circle behind it. So because the rock will be always there in front of you, it's good to break it and put it a feather here. So that's the kind of barriers which one faces in terms of that. Yeah.
So, sir, what are the toughest moments of your career? Like
You
I'm
know, Sir has already described, like, sir, you've given us an overview, about the hurdles that you faced and how to overcome that, really. But I think what Siddhanta wants to ask right now is what was the, toughest moment of in your career, and we would just like to know, sir.
Okay, so I guess the toughest moment of my career was when I have to make a choice. As we rightly know, sometime in front of two beautiful t-shirts, you always get confused that which t-shirt to choose, because the t-shirt is both are amazing. For me, there was a part in my life where I was doing extremely brilliant in my life, career wise, and I had something in my plate which offered me the career calling of my life, what I wanted to do. There was the decision making to be done, because what I'm doing brilliantly, I was in a pinnacle of my career in the Maslow's need hierarchy. I was in actualization. So and I had an offer which made me go a bit, backwards in the hierarchy, but that would ensure me that I will be in actualization again. That was the toughest moment of my life, because I had liabilities to my parents, I had financial liabilities, I had professional liabilities. That was almost a decision. Let me tell you very clearly, Aishi and Siddhanta, which made me really think a lot. Sometimes decisions are not right. You regret decisions, and I never wanted to regret, because there was no looking back. But thankfully, I took the decision of listening to the calling of my life. It's last 3 years now in this organization, and this was my calling. Group Renault. Mm, it's not because of my present organization, but it is the best thing which has happened to me after my wife and my mom and dad and my kid. I think this was the calling which helped, which enabled, which required me to go back in the Maslow's need a bit lesser. But then what I'm today in terms of contentment and actualization is something which is much more deeper. So these are some of the aspect. The other aspect is when you are always sometimes, because of office kind of culture in some of the organization, you always see this favorisms which happens, yeah, which is true even in corporate. If it happens in Hindi film industry, it can also happen in corporate. It's as dramatic. Both are dramatic. Both are theatrical. So no difference there. So what is very important is to understand that if at all favorism happens, then how do you claim your ground? It's fundamentally important. Even if you have the inch of your ground under your foot, do not let it happen. Make it as concrete as possible, because that's the land on which you stand. So your competencies, your values, never compromise with it, I guess. We always have heard from our grandmas that satyame vijayate and all those things, which sounds theory, but at the end of the day in corporate, I guess, what really wins is your conviction, your intuition. These two words are the same part of the same coin. It's two parts of the coin, but intuitions and convictions are something which will take once too long. Never compromise on your intuitions. Never get into grapevine. Never go into communications which are negative, which is about bosses are never right, or bosses are always right, but never get into that kind of circle. It always says, your personality and character is a reflection of the people whom you're around. So
Absolutely.
be around people who gives you optimism, the critics of you, not really pessimism. I guess these were some of my hard parts of my life. There were a lot more, but to just summarize, these were some of the decisions which I had to make. Very
Okay.
crucial. Yeah.
So basically, we need to have a backbone. We need to be really resilient, listen to our gut, and don't really get involved in dramas, unnecessary dramas, and rumors. And I think that's pretty
and
much it.
never
And
and and
just
never
trudge
question
on.
your substance, and never question your substance.
Right.
You have it.
Absolutely.
Each
Absolutely,
one of
sir.
you have it. So never
Absolutely.
question it.
That was wonderful. So thank you so much. That
Yes. So,
that
sir,
was really
like
good.
we have a viewer question that I see. Some Ishita Banerjee has asked, like, sir, does the certified online internships help in job seeking?
Certified online internship. Yes, it does. It does. I think that when I go for recruitment, which I go off late a lot, what any kind of internship which you do tells as a corporate to as a recruiter to us, that you had a zeal of exploring something. You had some kind of real life experience. Yeah. Now the real life may not be real, but it is real life. But till the time you have an exposure of the on the job training, till the time you know what it's to be done, even if it is done by a medium of online, it makes sense. So I think that this is the time to foray into all different kind of certifications. There's no certifications in life which will ever let you down. Let me tell you my profile. I won one of the prizes in NSHM about best business case from in a business venture from NEN, which is National Entrepreneurship Network. I still showcase that. I showcase my Peter de Bono learning. I showcase my communications skills. I showcase my language learning. there is no certificate which is small or big. Every certificate will only add into your value. So go ahead, and thank you for asking this question. You can go ahead on online certificate internship. It does help you. It helps you apart from having, it helps you because this will give a impression to the recruiter or the person who is recruiting you that you wanted to do something apart from the classes and the classrooms, and you have an experience and exposure. So go ahead to that. Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much. Sir, talking with you today was literally food for our brain. I don't know about others, but I think for Siddhanto and me, we can speak, for ourselves, a lot of ideas, a lot of, you know, knowledge, literally food for the brain. Sir, thank you so much. And sir, one more thing that will forever, stay with me even after this for a very long time is that vase example that you gave us. Honestly, like you're like not just a sponge, but you're like an empty vase. And you should always just wait for the knowledge, and you have to sometimes declutter yourself so that new information can come in. And I think that is absolutely brilliant, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And we would love to see you on campus one day if you would give us some time, because I'm sure the students would want to talk to you personally. So that would be really, really great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I take guest lectures in Navsimonji, Mumbai, and ITM Mumbai. But I always had it in mind that how do I pay back, or meaning payback, meaning how do I give back my sense of little gratitude to the college where I belong from. I have done courses from IIMs, etc. But the fundamental college which represents me, or which is a part of my personality, is NSHM Kolkata. Yeah, the BL Saha Road. That's something which I'm ingrained of. That's my repertoire. That's what defines me. So I'm extremely humbled for you to invite me, and I'm also thankful to all the people who were there. Sorry if it was boring, a monologue, but
No,
my
sir,
story is not
Also
absolutely
different
not.
from
counted our
yours. Yeah.
Absolutely not, sir. We beg to differ. It was brilliant, sir. I told you food for the brain. I was just thinking, while you were speaking, that was really good, sir. Honestly.
Thank you. Thank you. And I wish you all the best. I know that each one of you will be sitting here where I'm sitting, or more than somewhere else. And in years to come, I guess Arjuna ma'am will again do this, and you will be giving lecture, this kind of motivation, little learning, whatever, little understanding of your life to others. And surpass each one of us, surprise yourself, surprise with your capabilities. I wish you all the very best. And thank you for the opportunity to speak to the young minds, which are you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, sir, for taking out time, sir. Seriously, honestly. And sir, just before you leave, sir, would you like to tell us a few things about COVID skills? Like, sir, you already told us about what to expect after this, but still, because I think some people are still confused and they would love to know, sir, about COVID skills. Like, just in general, let's say 5 key factors that we need to keep in mind after this, because it's a new world at the end of the day.
Huh. After COVID, is that your question?
Yes, sir.
I hope I will forecast what will happen after COVID, but let me tell you whatever little, and I can be absolutely wrong. Okay, and I want to give it a bit of more seriousness. So give me 2 seconds. After COVID, okay.
While Sir takes that 2 seconds, guys, you can see and learn even from this. Sir is very, very meticulous and serious about what he does. I can tell right from this, because if we just take everything at face value and we go blabbering, but Sir is actually taking out the time to answer this. So, guys, this would be your last opportunity to ask any question that you have. Please type in the chat box and we'll ask Sir anything at all about the corporate world, about your, I don't know, employability, what to expect, anything.
Okay,
exactly
I'm
what I
back with my 4 points. I'm
Right.
back with 4 points. Sorry, I don't have five because what I believe is four for me. Let's understand that after COVID, the situation is going to be tough. There's no running behind the bush that it's going to be as hunky-dory as possible. The unemployment rate of India is rocket high. People are dying more of food and hunger than of the virus. That's a reality. Let's
Very
also
true.
understand that the situation in corporate is all-time low. Recession is a nearby looking point. But this is all the pessimistic or yeah, this is all the negative part of it. But what would be positive? What would be we have to do? The first is we need to be absolutely diligent and sincere. Okay, there is no compromise to the fact that mediocrity will work in future. Yeah, mediocrity, short goals, quicker fixes, maybe the norm of yesterday and today. But in future, I guess mediocrity will not work. Each one of us are not mediocre. Let's sustain that value. Each one of us wants to high, want to be as substantial as possible. Let's focus and foster that value. That's point one. The second point is in future we cannot have assumptions. We need to be open. Yeah, I guess uh, I really don't know, but in future things will be a bit more will ask us to venture into newer opportunities. We need to settle for less. No, we need to settle for the best, but settle with what is realistic. So we need to be a bit more open minded. Six-figure salary, eight-figure salary, not management trainee, but absolutely becoming the CEO of the company may not be the truth which will be happening. So it will be openness will require from not only our side but also from the side of what we'll get in future. That's second point. The third point is smart. Yeah, we always have this connotation that hard smart work can replace hard work. This is a myth, and I want this myth to be burst right now.
I agree 100%, sir. Absolutely on point.
Why do you
Smart
think
work doesn't mean making shortcuts, making cutting your ends. Smart work is not is not compensatory to hard work. Smart work is an acquired value of a hard work. You need to work. If you want to be smart work, you need to do hard work. Let me tell you, even it sounds oxymoron, but that's the truth of the reality. That you need to be. If we say that you need brains to cheat, you even needs to be intelligent to cheat. So that's what is interesting to important and understand is smart work needs to be very very crucial. Your theories, your processes will be having a very blurry line. What is important is to make new constructs. What is important is to not forget the past but evolve from the past. That's why I'm saying smart work, the first point. Second point is diligent and sincere. Third point is to being open. And the fourth point, that's, I'm sorry for the sake of repeating, but the fourth point is fluid. Each one of us needs to be as fluidic as water. Yeah. The moment we are stuck, that's the moment where stagnancy start, and none of us would want to associate ourselves with stagnancy. So let's be fluidic, let's be agile, let's be patient. Let's not be a pond water, but let's be Ganges, which has sharp waves, which has sharp turns. It can carve stones. It sounds philosophical, but that's absolutely truth of the world. So that would be my
Absolutely,
point.
sir. Absolutely,
Thank you so
sir.
much,
So,
sir.
guys, there's no shortcut to success. Work hard, enjoy the process, and don't be a pond. Smart work is not greater than hard work, and that's the truth of it. So, thank you so much, sir, for being a part of the third edition of CLC Conversations. We learned a lot from you today, but not just that, we also had a lot of fun, given that technically you are our super senior.
And we
We
have
look
one
forward,
super senior.
super duper senior, yes.
Super se bhi upar senior.
Super Sebi Hooper Senior, absolutely, sir. So,
Exactly, sir.
absolutely, sir. So, we look forward to having you as our guest again in one of our programs. And also, sir, if you would, be so kind to visit our campus one day, we would absolutely love it. Absolutely
Definitely,
love
sir.
it. So, sir,
And
thank you so
canteen
much.
treat is due, sir. So obviously the new canteen treat that you'll be getting from us, and we promise
Sorry,
you.
Siddhanto?
Yes, sir. I was saying that about the canteen treat. I think you asked me to give a.
Yeah. I only come to the campus when Siddhanto treats me with amazing food. Huh? Only
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir,
that's
we
the
have
Done.
a
deal.
deal. We have a
Yes,
deal,
sir.
sir.
That's
Done.
the deal.
Yes, sir. Done.
Yeah.
That's a deal. That's a deal. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so much,
very much.
guys. Have a
Thank you,
very
sir.
good weekend and all the
Thank you,
best for
sir.
your
Same
future.
to
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
See you. Bye bye. Ciao. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So, guys, that was the third edition of CLC Conversations. And I would just like to give you a kind reminder that we come back every fortnight. So, we hope to see you on the next session. And last but not the least, Siddhanta and I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude towards the Center for Language and Communication for giving us this opportunity. And you can very well do this as well. So, you should log in and be a part of it. Thank you so much. So, I'm Aishi Pal from Bachelor of Optometry, third year.
And I'm Siddhanta Pramanik from Bachelor of Computer Application second year. And we officially sign off for the evening.
Absolutely. Stay healthy, have fun, and keep learning. No shortcuts, right? Hard work is always the answer to everything. Bye, guys. Take care. Let's meet.
Bye bye.
Yes.
All the best for life.